What's going on, people? It's your man the White B back once again. Big shout out to my doggy Bobby Ross for coming through and boosting up the coin. So we got some funny news for you, man. We got some pot calling the kettle black news for you, man, right now regarding Dillian Whyte. He's finished Dillian Whyte, man. He's super cooked, seriously, proper cooked. Anyway, he's come out. Obviously, he's begging for the AJ fight, and rightfully, arguably so. Yeah, he should be calling out AJ. Both of these two dudes. Yes, is AJ as washed as Dillian? To be honest, the jury's out on that one. Yeah, after that last performance, who's going to be shocked? Well, no, I don't care how finished AJ is. After what I saw Dillian Whyte do, Dillian Whyte won't be the one to expose how finished AJ is. You'd need someone like, I don't know, a Fabio Wardley or an Italma, who shouldn't really be on AJ's level, but they're too much. Dillian Whyte went life and death with Purple Aki. Ebenezer Tete, for sure. Yeah, Purple Aki is Ebenezer Tete's brother. I looked into the genealogy. Yeah, the same father, different mums, but the same father. Ebenezer Tete. Let me show you now. You think I'm playing? Google. Ebenezer Tete. Okay, watch this one here. Same dad, 1,000,000%. 1,000,000,000,000,000,000%. Purple Aki. Oops, folks. Yeah, don't ever tell me, oh, AB, that's not Purple Aki's brother. You bugging, man. You bugging bad. If you're trying to convince me that Dillian Whyte didn't just fight Purple Aki's brother-in-law or step-brother, is that what you call it? Either way, they got the same daddy. That's what they have got. There's Purple Aki, and here is Ebenezer. Where's the picture at, man? Come on, people. That's all day and night. Same daddy, for damn sure. So you, listen, Dillian, you punched up Purple Aki. Yeah? That's what you did. And Purple Aki's, how old's Purple Aki? How old is he? Let's have a look. Listen, I don't need to know how old Ebenezer Tete allegedly is. 63 years old. That makes perfect sense. Oops. So when you see this age here, 36. You having a laugh, Dillian? This man is 36. And if you follow the Cabal use numerology. So when you see, oh, Ebenezer Tete is 36. Oops. What happens when you change the numbers round? 63. Bah! The guy is 63, man. This was a Cabal operation for the masses, the unwashed masses, to convince them, oh, Dillian's in there with a 36-year-old. He's never 36. Seriously, he's 63, like his brother. That's what he is. He's 63 like his brother. They were born at the same time. Of course they were. Yeah, when Purple Aki and Ebenezer Tete's pops was given the pipe to a bunch of women's, it was at the same time. Look at this guy here, man. He ain't 36. It's impossible. Yeah, this guy's 63 and this guy is 63. But they couldn't do that. They wouldn't get sanctioned. So Dillian was like, oh, you know, I can't fight Purple Aki because he's actually 63. What we'll do is, though, bring his brother in, who's known to box a bit, switch the numbers round, switch the 3 and the 6. Oops, he's 36. And you have to sit here and believe, people. You have to sit here and believe this man's 36. That's what you have to do. Yeah? You have to sit here and say, yeah, no, YB, he's definitely... Stop playing, man. Get out of here. If you think this guy's 36, don't watch my videos. These videos ain't made for you. Anyway, let's move on now. So Dillian's called out AJ. Trying to find the quotes. Here's the quotes. There we go. That's what I mean. This is more conditioning for the masses. Read this one here. The 36, they always put the name in there. The 36-year-old who returned with a stoppage of Ebenezer Tete last month told Sky Sports, Joshua sounds perfect for me. I bet it does. To be fair, Joshua would sound perfect for me too. I can't box a lick, but I'd take 5 mil from Joshua. Sounds perfect for all of us, Dillian. He goes on. They don't need... He's desperate for the coins, man. He's desperate for the coins. Have you ever been so broke? These bars here that Dillian's putting out are like when your manager is fishing for overtime. Listen to what Dillian says. So imagine the financial straits Dillian must be in. When questioned about the AJ fight, he says, they don't need to ask me twice. Hey, YB, man, we got some overtime. Yes, boss. You don't have to ask me twice, boss. I need them coins. You best believe it. It's cold in this house. It's cold in this house, for sure. Yeah, I tell boss, listen, man. You know you don't got to ask me about overtime. I'm taking it all, man. It's too cold in this house not to take overtime. Oh, he goes on. They talk about me as an option, but they haven't said anything to me. So it's just negotiation tactics from them. But I'm up for a big fight, and I'm ready to fight again. Dillian, let me tell you something now. Yeah, in Dillian's mind, he thinks, oh yes, these guys are plotting to out-negotiate me. Dillian, you are a taker. Yeah, you are Meek Mills versus Diddy. In the paradigm of Diddy versus Meek Mills, Dillian Whyte's Meek Mills, you taking it. Yeah, it's a crafty negotiation, for example. I don't buy into this, but some people are saying, oh, YB, when Tyson Fury retired and talked about bank robberies, he was actually meaning that he's retired, and that means that he's going to rob AJ and Eddie Hearn of more money. Some people did a mad stretch. Yeah. I bring that up to say, in that scenario, in AJ versus Fury, either man really. Yes, you can argue Tyson Fury now being retired gives him the advantage in the situation, to a small extent. But in that scenario, it would be fair for either man to say, oh, Tyson Fury is just retired for a negotiation tactic. Them two are at that level, if that makes sense, where there may legitimately be negotiation skullduggery. You, Dillian, you're not in that conversation, yeah? And to some extent, you wasn't even in that conversation when you was crying about the Tyson Fury mandatory percentage. You still wasn't. You hadn't won nothing yet. Your name hadn't got that big. You was big in the UK, small crowd, if I'm honest. And then you got knocked out by Tyson Fury, who can't punch. Yeah? That was the peak of your negotiation abilityness. To sit there claiming people are plotting against you, you never got no better than that WBC opportunity you had. Now, no one's Eddie Hearn. Who here thinks Eddie Hearn and AJ are sitting there? And yes, AJ might be relatively washed to where he was in his career, but AJ ain't sitting here plotting against Dillian Whyte. He gonna throw you a bone. Yeah? Brick Top from Snatch told you these bars. Yeah? AJ's Brick Top. And he tells Dillian Whyte, Dillian, if I throw you a bone, I don't want to know how it tastes. Yeah? Dillian's that guy. Dillian's the corny dude who got his balls crunched up and was told, yeah, I threw you a bone. I ain't interested in the texture or the sweetness of it. Just chew the bone that I throw you. That's the position Dillian Whyte's in. I'm not a Dillian Whyte hater. I'm just telling you what the facts are. The facts are, there's no negotiation thing here, Dillian. When they throw anything at you, you got to take it. Where are you going? Because otherwise you get knocked out by Joe Joyce. Or maybe, I think that's a good fight, but you ain't... Listen, Joe Joyce versus Dillian is a 50-50 life and death. It could go either way. And you're going to make peanuts. If AJ throws you 2 mil, what are you going to make fighting Joe Joyce? Like, what, 300 bags? 400 bags? You got to take whatever's offered. Seriously. Because you've done this too long now. You've done the whole politicking thing. Thinking that you're worth more and waiting. What you will do, Dillian, you might end up talking yourself out of any money. If that makes sense. If you keep on thinking that it's all a big conspiracy against you and, oh, you're too smart to get played by Eddie Hearn, you ain't got no bargaining chips, man. You got no bargaining chips at all, is the honest truth. What can he bargain with? He's not a former champion. He doesn't even really have... Okay, he beat Joseph Parker. I think that was his kind of... Dillian Whyte's best win is beating Parker 5 years ago in the life and death. He doesn't have like the... Let me think. Who did AJ beat, to be fair? I don't know who he beat either. Who did AJ beat? Pulev, man. I'm not sure. Either way, whether AJ beat a whole bunch of top people or not, even Dillian knocked out Povetkin the second time. So whether AJ's deserved his level or not, he is at that level, rightly or wrongly. He is at a level that you are not at. So my advice to him would be, obviously, if they come in offering 200 grand and you can make better money elsewhere, then don't. But if they come in offering 2 mil and you ain't got no offers for 2 mil nowhere, AJ can go on with his career. Although, where would he go? Wilder. Turkey's already said that. So if I was Dillian Whyte, I wouldn't hang around too long. Because by the time AJ's finished with 2 Wilder fights, most likely, 2 Fury fights, that's like 2-3 years down the line. Is he really... He probably... Knowing AJ, he probably would hang around to have a go on you, finishing off, to be fair. But do you want to bank on that? Do you want to bank on a 40-year-old AJ hanging around and doing you a favour? You're better off now going in there... People, if I was advising Dillian Whyte, I'd tell him, listen, Dillian, go in there, go into Mandinga Room HQ, yeah, in Essex. Go there, put your best cotton-picking garbs on and beg Massa Lord Barry Herrnstein to put you on. That's your best bet, man. Yeah? Your only bet, your only chance to go in there. Yeah? Go in there with your best cotton-picking garbs on, man. Seriously, that's what you got to do. Put your best get-up on and beg Lord Massa Barry Herrnstein at Mandingo Room HQ. Get to the begging now, because you ain't got no chips to play. Seriously, you haven't. Listen, I ain't a Dillian hater. If I sat here and thought Dillian had cards to play, I'd say that. I'm not hating, I'm just telling the truth. He's got no cards to play. That last fight was a stinker. Proper stinker. Proper. Yeah? Seriously, if you were to say to me, YB, what is Dillian Whyte, at this point in time, where is Dillian Whyte's level? No doubt, his level with Joe Joyce. That is a fair 50-50 type situation. That's where his level is right now. A Joe Joyce who just got beat in a somewhat close fight against Chisora. That's where Dillian Whyte isn't even at the level where he just beat Chisora off that performance. That sucked. That guy was 63 years old and like a zombie in there, and you was going life and death blowing at your ass. So if I was you, knowing that Turkey plans to do Deontay Wilder, knowing that Fury may, I think I'll be very shocked if Fury doesn't fight AJ at some point. So knowing all these things, Dillian could easily end up never fighting AJ at this point in time. Let's see how old AJ is. Anthony Joshua age. He's 35. Them 4 fights, they'll take about 2 or 3 years. He'll be 38. He won't be that old. But still, it's a risk. He might just decide to retire. Let's say he gets wiped out by Wilder and wiped out by Fury. I mean, it wouldn't be my base case, but it could happen. We've seen crazier things. And AJ's just been wiped out by Wilder and Fury. He's probably not going to go in there with you. He's probably thinking, you know what? I'm in real bad form here. And I don't want to roll the dice against Dillian. I don't want to lose to all 3 of my contemporaries. Those are the beefs AJ's had. AJ's had systemic beefs with Dillian, Fury and Wilder. It's all risk. And what are you going to be doing? In the next 2 years, AJ's booked. Between Wilder and Fury. He's booked. Plus, they're talking about Bacoli. So he's got options. You ain't got no options. You ain't got no options. At all. You got no ranking. And even if you did have a ranking, who are you going to fight, man? Seriously. Outside of AJ. Outside of taking your big BLACKRs down to Mandingo Room HQ and begging. What do you have? Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce can't get a fight for love nor money. So Joe Joyce is... I mean, I'm not knocking that fight. I'll be really intrigued about that fight. But if Dillian ain't mentioning Joe Joyce's name, he's not. So again, it's this mentality Dillian has. He thinks he's really valuable. He's putting himself in the sweepstakes with AJ like they're proper, whoa, it's 50-50 and who's the A-side? Fury versus AJ, it's like, whoa, they're 50-50, who's the A-side? Dillian versus AJ, you're just another bare bum in the shower. AJ might as well fight Joe Joyce. Outside of the fact that he's got beef with you, that's all you've got. Oh, we had some beef 15 years ago. That's all you've got. You've got nothing actually, substance-wise, over Joe Joyce. Oops. So stop. Dillian's been doing this for too many years now. He's been talking too much and trying to outthink himself. Oh, well, and it hasn't got him nowhere. Apart from getting knocked out by a dude who can't punch. Tyson Fury can't punch. Documented, he can't punch. Anyway, Dillian Whyte goes on. If he wants to fight, then all they've got to do is call me. I'm always up for fighting AJ. No problem for me. He's desperate for the coins, man. He's desperate for the coins. Your boss rings you on a Sunday evening and he's like, hey, man, I got some overtime for you. And you're like, yeah, it's no problem for me. Even though you're in bed, it's no problem for me. I'm up for that. I'm up for working at 6 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon. Oh, man, you broke for sure, right? Let's call a spade here. You broke as shit. You got them bars. If your boss can call you at 6 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon and have you driving down there to clock in some overtime, you broke as a joke. And this is, obviously, Dillian's not broke. He's not in your house with a big, thick bear suit on, broke. But there's relativeness. Yeah? Years ago, Dillian Whyte would have said, oh, F AJ. If the fight happens, it happens. I'll make him my own way. That was the narrative. Now all we hear from Dillian, and rightfully so, if I was advising Dillian, I'd be saying the same thing. Yeah? I'd be saying, get your big bulbous ass down to Manninga Room HQ and get to the begging. That's what I'd be advising him. That's what time it is now. Get there, and you'll have to put on for Barry Hearns, Massa Hearns, and his zesty friends. That's what I tell Dillian, seriously. My advice to him would be, go down there and put on. Yeah? For Massa Barry Hearns and his zesty friends. That would be the kind of, something along them lines is where we're at now. There's no more talking, there's no more whoop-de-whoop. You got to get down there, man. It's time to get to the action now, begging. Seriously. Anyway. He then goes on. So he says, yeah, it's no problem for me fighting AJ. It's no problem for me collecting $4 million for an hour's work. Ooh, really, Dillian? That is a truly, what's the word I'm looking for? A proper, like, deep take, right? Oh, it's no problem for me, mate. I'll take $4 million for an hour's work. Whoa. Dillian Whyte's a philosopher, to tell the truth. From these bars here, he needs a book like, I'm thinking of a philosopher's name. Galileo, I don't know. He's probably some space guy. Pick a philosopher, man. Plato. Oops. Yeah? Dillian Plato Whyte on the 19th of January said, it's no problem for me to make $4 million in an hour. Bash. That is proper poignant, that point there. Fair play, Dillian. I hadn't thought of that myself. Anyway, this is the bar that I put on the thumbnail. He says, so let me play it in its totality. If he wants to fight, then all they've got to do is call me. I'm always up for fighting AJ. It's no problem for me. However, personally, I think he's finished. Dillian, man. Like I started off this video, the pot and the kettle, folks. Yeah. At least AJ, you've only got to go back one fight. When he knocked Mbonga out. When Anthony Johnston knocked out Francis Mbonga. That's only one fight ago, right? Was it 2 fights? I'm not sure. No, he beat Wallin, then it was Mbonga. So, it's only one fight. You can have a bad fight. It was a real bad fight. It did look really bad. He looked really super duper leaky deaky. I've never seen something so leaky deaky in my life. Tell the truth. Proper leaky deaky. He looked. That said, Dillian, you looked shocking. AJ was getting whooped up here, but he looked professional leaky deaky. Dillian Whyte looked like a 50-year-old white collar dude. That's how it looked, seriously. It was that bad. Imagine a 50-year-old white-collar dude who's, you know what I mean? That's how it looked. He was absolutely gassed. AJ, to his credit, got off the mat, and he didn't look... He still looked professional. That makes sense. Dillian was like blowing off his arse against the bum. AJ was in there with one of the most dangerous men in the division, proven. Dillian was blowing against an old man, 63 years old. So, I mean, these bars are not bad bars when you're pitching for a fight. If I was Dillian, I'd be coming out more. Yeah. I remember when the fight was signed in, what year was it? 23 August, maybe? And Dillian was like, oh, well, there's no hate here. It's all just business. And I think there's an element of that to him. He thinks, I mean, who knows? How do you get a fight? AJ's got a big ego, I believe. And if you start coming out mugging AJ off, well, listen, it could go both ways, right? You could mug him off and Eddie Hearn comes out and says, oh, we don't need Dillian. But Eddie Hearn's not like Ben Chalong, for example. I think Eddie Hearn would appreciate the buzz. Eddie Hearn likes coins. He doesn't really hold grudges. Eddie Hearn's not like Shelley Winklestein, who comes out and says, oh, we're not fighting AJ. This was obviously Deontay Wilder. Oh, we're not fighting AJ because he said that we're hillbillies and he's very rude. That was a whole shtick back in 2017, 2018. Team Wilder coming out saying, oh, we're not fighting Eddie Hearn or AJ, they're rude. It's really odd. Eddie Hearn's not really like that. Eddie Hearn, if Eddie Hearn sees Dillian Whyte kicking up a fuss, yeah, and doing numbers, oops. He'll be more inclined. If you're just sitting there fighting, going life and death with Purple Aki's brother-in-law, what you bring to the table? You should be out here. If I was Dillian Whyte, I'd be out here doing videos saying, AJ, you're a big useless stiff plumber from Watford, and you're no good. Yeah? Listen, AJ. That Ebenezer Tete Purple Aki fight I just had, that was like Usyk versus Chisora. I'm luring your ass in. Those are the bars, people. Oh, AJ, you think I was sweet in that Ebenezer 63-year-old Tete fight? Oops. You thought Usyk was sweet after the Chisora fight? Bash. See them bars there? Deep bars. I'm setting your ass up for the okie doke. You come in there thinking I'm sweet. Obviously, Dillian is definitely finished. But I'm just saying what you project from Dillian's position. He's definitely finished. That wasn't no Usyk versus Chisora, potentially. That wasn't what that was. No, he's just proper washed up. Proper. Yeah. For me, the jury is still out on AJ, but all jokes aside, there's two fighters at the peak of British boxing, which of course in itself is that's a triumph and an accolade in itself. But at the peak of British boxing, there are two fighters who are proper finished. Dillian Whyte and Joe Joyce. Both of these two have achieved more than any of us will. But still, that was in the past, in the yesteryear. As of today, they are the most two finished I've ever seen. Seriously, in recent history. Because even when you look at Vlad was 41 or whatever. He didn't look proper finished. Name me the last fighter you saw him fought at the top level kind of thing. And you thought, wow, they are well cooked. Overcooked, man. Overcooked. Name one. Mainly, even when you see Povetkin was 40 and yeah, he got knocked out by Dillian, but he was in there with, at the time, a prime dude. And he wasn't having a bad performance. Dillian looks finished. Joe Joyce looked finished, man. AJ, he's still got some athleticism to him that Joe Joyce and Dillian Whyte haven't got. And I do believe, to be fair to AJ's pretty malleable. Them mistakes he was making, it wasn't because he's shot to bits, in my opinion. It was more to do so. We saw him a year ago. A year ago, he was pretty tight with Derek James. The leaky deaky came with Ben Davison. Oops. So it's more I don't think AJ's mistakes in that fight, it wasn't because he's shot to bits. His defense was leaky deaky. Bottom line, super leaky. The leakiest I've ever seen him have. Proper just like this. Chop spark in the air. Anyway, Dillian goes on. I think he made a huge mistake not taking their immediate rematch with Dubois. It was a world title fight, a great payday. Dillian, I get it. When you're broke here, all you can see is money. But when you're AJ and you've made 400 million anyway, getting offered 30 or 40 million to get punched up, or a high chance of getting punched up, it's not really worth it to you, especially when you got the likes of Wilder, which is an easier fight. I don't care what no one says. Wilder and Fury are easier fights than Dubois. Fury might box you up and frustrate you. He's not going to hurt you, man. He's not going to hurt you. He couldn't hurt Mungo, right? The Fury couldn't hurt Chisora, who stood right in front of him. And Chisora was 55 years old in donkey years. Documented. Fury couldn't hurt Chisora. He couldn't hurt Mbonga. He couldn't hurt Usyk, really. So, Wilder can't do anything. He's finished. Wilder's up there as well, actually. Dillian Whyte, Joe Joyce and Deontay Wilder are proper finished. I've never seen nothing like it, man. I've never seen nothing like it at all. They're proper finished. Super duper finished. So, AJ ain't going to take a Dubois rematch. That's always going to be there. Yeah? AJ has that leverage. AJ can petition for a Dubois voluntary anytime. Because who isn't going to take that? Why wouldn't Dubois take that rather than fight some other bum for voluntary? So I actually think it's smart business for AJ. If he's not really trying to be 3 times, which I never expected him to do. I said that at the time. People gassing up 3-time champion. That was never the motive. He thought he could get an easy look in for a belt. He was never actually, I need this belt. He likes digging pocket. But spiritually, I get what Dillian's saying, but listen, this isn't coming from Dillian preaching the gospel, saying, oh yeah, it'd be the perfect opportunity to avenge his knockout loss. This is coming from Dillian because he's broke. Dillian saying, oh man, Dillian, why wouldn't you take a great payday? Because I need one. That's what Dillian's basically saying. Oh, I can't understand why AJ didn't get his head punched in by Dubois again, because I'd take that money. And you know this because it's the first factor he talks about. It was a world title fight and a great payday. Sorry, the second factor, but anyway. Dillian goes on, he will forever have to suffer the memes of being face-planted at Wembley by Dubois. Dillian's throwing... AJ's catching strays here, man. AJ's catching strays. When I lost to Povetkin... Dillian, man. When you lost to Povetkin, he was 50 years old, to be... Dillian says here, look at this one here. When I lost to Povetkin, on the way back to my dressing room, I crashed Eddie Hearn's live interview and demanded the immediate rematch. Apples and pears, Dillian. Yeah? You was a 10-1 favourite in that fight. I guess you can argue AJ was a big favourite, but still, completely different. Povetkin's another year older by the time you fought him. And he was already old. And you got proper knocked out as well. You got caught. You was winning the fight and got caught. AJ was never winning the fight. So it was winnable for you. If Povetkin had come out there and just slapped you around for 5 rounds like AJ got, you might not have been so gagging for it. The fact you had a base and it was a lucky shot, the Povetkin fight you can argue was a lucky shot. There was a foundation for you to build on for the rematch. What's AJ going to build on? He had no success. One moody right hand that Dubois ended up finishing the fight off the back of. Dillian goes on, nothing else mattered until I beat him in the rematch. It's a mindset thing. I want to fight AJ and... Yeah, come on. I want to fight AJ and Tyson again. Because they both beat me, no. No, that's not why. Stop playing Dillian, man. You want the coins. I get it, we all want the coins, but come on, people. Nothing to do with, oh, I want to fight them. I want to fight them. Since we're sitting here talking about who wants to do what, I want to fight both of them too, as it happens. Knocking around. I'll do it cheap on the cheap as well, folks. You see that one there? Although it's 1-1 with AJ. Okay, alright, Dillian. You still shilling that fight from 20 years ago. Oh, Dillian. Oh, it's still 1-1, guys, because in the amateurs, I'd knocked AJ down, or I beat AJ in 2002. Jesus, man. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, people. Smash the like button, subscribe, like off the bell, 100%. There's no doubt about this one, people. Stop it.